Today I want to talk with you about seminar marketing. It's a subject that's really near and dear to me. I built my entire practice on seminar marketing. It really sets me off the last few years as I hear people talking and making claims that seminar marketing doesn't work anymore. You hear somebody say that, I promise you, from me to you, they don't know what they're talking about. They just don't know how to do it. Yes, I will give you, it's not 2008 where you could have spent $1,200 on a mailer and filled 60 to 80 seats. It's not 2012 where you could spend just 3 or 4 hours on the phone telemarketing and fill a 20, 25 person show. It's harder than it used to be. But that doesn't mean that it doesn't work. It doesn't mean that it's not still one of, if not the most profitable marketing process or system that we as life and health insurance agents can use. It is. It's just not as easy as it used to be. I'm going to do a handful of these trainings. There's probably 4 or 5 of these. The next one, I'm going to talk about how to fill the shows. This one, I want to talk about stage 1, which is the setup process. So there's about 10 things that go into this. Number 1, I want to talk about is geography. I get it that a lot of you have no choice where you live. You live in a big city, you can't do anything about it. But just so it's said, if you have the options, I'll tell you that doing seminars in smaller rural areas works way better than it does in big city. Not that you still can't do them in big cities, it's just harder. Choosing a restaurant. You do not have to go to the Ruth Chris for the most expensive restaurant in town. I don't care where you do them. You can do them at the library or something in between. Where you do your show has no bearing at all on how much money you're going to make or how much you're going to sell. All it has to do with is how easy it's going to be to fill the shows. You know, to me, I like something in between. You need a draw, something, just someplace that's a restaurant. It's got a good reputation that your people have heard about and they want to go. The process I do is just go on Google. Google all the restaurants in that town or that area. Knock off all the, the fast food joints and the places that you know aren't good. Maybe take off some of the most expensive places. Now you got a group in the middle. Now you got to pick up the phone. You probably got to call them and find out, do they have a closed off room for you to do your presentation? That's it. Once you've got that group narrowed down, that's your option list. It's really that simple. It's a little bit of Google work and a couple phone calls. After we got the restaurant picked, now I'm going to strongly urge that you spend a little bit of time and make up a contract to have with the restaurant. It doesn't have to be complicated, but you want to get it written down with their signature that you've got that date blocked off, the food that you're going to agree on, that you're going to serve. It's just a good business practice. The last thing you want to do, you're going to spend a little bit of money at least. You're going to definitely spend some time on filling this thing. Last thing you want to have happen is show up a month later and they double booked you and say, sorry, come back next week. You have a contract, the other guy gets kicked, not you. Negotiate the price. Don't pay menu prices. Certainly don't pay room charges. Let them know you want to be a partner with them. You're planning on doing these shows consistently in your business with them. And, you're going to be bringing in groups of people that have never eaten there before. Hopefully 25, 30 people at a time. It's a lot of free advertising for them. So I want to be partners with you. So at least cut me some deal on the bill. I don't want to be paying the same thing that the guy that walks in off the street pays for just him and his wife. Make that negotiation. Most of the time you'll get that done. I personally like evening time. I'm not a big lunchtime fan. I guess it depends a little bit on what you're selling. If you're only selling Medicare, maybe lunchtime works okay. I like 5:30 or 6 o'clock for a start time. That way I can get that 55 to 65 community into my seminars as well. So especially if you're selling things like life insurance, annuities, long-term care, estate planning, you've got that group of people who are getting ready to retire, which sometimes is way more profitable than the group that's already retired. I like having just 2 to 3 meal options. That makes it easier on your waitresses, and it'll actually help you back there on the negotiation table if they know they've just got to fix 2 or 3 set. So maybe you have a chicken and a steak and a beef option. Maybe a pasta for the third one. No alcohol. Listen, it sounds like a good time, but about the time you have a free bar, you're going to have hecklers by the end of the show. It's going to be really hard to control the show when you've got people drinking. Oh, I've skipped one, multiple dates. I think that's a big one. I think you should have multiple dates, 2 or 3 weeks. The reason why is if you just have one date, you might have people that want to come, but they're busy that day. If you've got a show on a Tuesday, a Wednesday the following week, and a Thursday the following week after that, you're going to totally get rid of that objection. You've got a date for everybody. And so set up 2 or 3 different dates. Again, no alcohol. And the last thing I'll say here is make sure you're setting this up 3 to 4 weeks in advance. Give yourself some time to fill the show. I'm going to talk with you on our next video, like I said, about how to do that. But when you're setting this up, give yourself some time for it. Check me out next week on the video, and I'm going to talk to you and teach you how to fill these shows on a consistent basis with little to no money. It's available. It's possible. Seminars aren't dead. Thanks for your time. I'll see you next week.